Welcome back to Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. My name is Barry Long 2. Please do not forget the 2. And we are coming to you live from Palm Springs area. We're coming to you live from Indio, California, live on CoachellaValley.com, live on today'scalifornia.com. Everybody, thank you for liking, subscribing to the pages, for sharing the posts. Thank you for all the feedback. It's been a wonderful, wonderful response from the public. So we're just going to keep on plugging away, keep on doing shows, and hopefully the show can continue to grow. But yeah, just real quick, I wanted to start off with just a little personal story because yesterday I went to Popeye. And when going to Popeyes, it's kind of like Starbucks. You go in there, and then you make your food or you order your drink, and then they ask you what is your name, so that they put it on, the sheet or whatever. They call you, say, "Hey, Barry, your food is ready. Craig, your food is ready." Shout out to Craig Campbell, CoachValley.com. So I go to Popeyes, and they ask me my name. I tell them my name is Barry. And they proceed to give me my food, and they spell it Beary, like bear E. And it's not the first time. I've had a lot of different people spell my name Bery. I'm not a strawberry. I'm not a raspberry. I'm not a blueberry. So my name is. I guess I could. If you were from New York, you could say Barry. All right. So this is Go Long Live, Barry Long 2. Don't forget the 2. Shout out to Kent O'Connor, who is tuning in live with us. And shout out to Sean McNeil, my best friend from Virginia Beach. He's tuning in too. So we're just going to jump right into it. Hopefully everyone had a safe and fun 4th of July holiday weekend. There was 2 tragedies that came out of the sports world. Just real quick, I want to send out my condolences to the family of Gene Siller. He's a pro golfer who was murdered on Friday evening in Georgia. He was shot to death with 2 other people. And also condolences to the family of Matisse Kivlenieks. He is a Columbus Blue Jacket hockey player who had a very, very crazy incident happen with fireworks yesterday, and it cost him his life. He died from chest traumas when a mortar firework exploded. So just condolences to those tragedies out of the sports world, but we definitely feel sad for those families. So rest in peace to those people. There's really no easy way to transition into sports, but we're just gonna get right into it. This is Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. Shout out to Cheryl Villegas. So funny, and you're a sweet berry. I am a sweet berry. Thank you. I really appreciate the kind words. All right, so we had NBA action yesterday. We definitely had NBA action, and it was a fun little game between the Bucks and the Hawks 2 days ago. We did not see Giannis Antetokounmpo. However, we did see another Antetokounmpo, and I'm just trying to get this camera right. This is live, guys. This is live TV. We are live on CoachellaValley.com. We are live on today'scalifornia.com. So yeah, we did not see Giannis Antetokounmpo last 2 days ago when the Bucks and the Hawks played. The Bucks won 118, Hawks 107. We did not see Giannis, but guess who we did see? We saw the Thanasis Antetokounmpo. That is Giannis's younger brother. If many of you know that Giannis has 4 brothers. He has 4 brothers, sons and 4. And 3 of them play ball, 1 of them plays soccer. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still out with that hyperextended knee injury, and we expect him to be out for quite some time. I'm not sure if he'll come back for the NBA Finals, but he definitely is, been in street clothes the last few days. We saw big performances from a lot of the players that we talked about that we were going to need to see performances from. We were going to need to see big-time performances from Chris Middleton and from Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton poured in with 32 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Drew Holiday, 27 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. These guys, we talked about it on Friday's episode, that these guys are going to have to step up to the plate. And when they're at home, they always perform well. And they're players. I would say they're the second and third fiddle on that Milwaukee Bucks team. But they always play better at home, and they struggle on the road consistently, especially Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton went into the first half. He went into halftime with 5 points, and he came out of that locker room with some on fire, just straight up on fire. One of the best third quarters we've seen in the playoffs in NBA history. Just the way that he was coming down, how efficient he was. He finished the game, like I said, with 32 points. So he scored 27 in that second half, and it was just a great performance by him. A great performance by all the role players, and just watching this team take so much adversity and go through it all this season. Was just very, very beautiful to see, a team like, and a coach like Coach Budenholzer, who has been through a lot. He's had a lot of good teams, but not great teams. He's always had LeBron James in his way in the Eastern Conference. When he coached for Atlanta, for the Atlanta Hawks, he always had to go through LeBron James and can get him. Even when he finished with the best record as the Atlanta Hawks coach in the Eastern Conference, he still could not break that ice. So we've seen him struggle a lot. And if you remember back in the series, or the second series that the Milwaukee Bucks played, after they got through the Heat, they swept the Heat. They went to play the Nets. They got down 0-2, and everybody was calling for Mike Budenholzer's job. Man, Budenholzer got to go. And Budenholzer is still here, and he is now on his way to the NBA Finals against Chris Paul's Phoenix Suns. It's going to be a great NBA Finals matchup. I'm excited to watch it. But when we talk about Atlanta, first of all, Trae Young, can't say enough about this guy. That's a terrible picture, by the way. That's a horrible picture of Trae Young. Maybe if he would have played better, we would have had a better picture. But no, Trae Young, he was hurt. He had a bone bruise. Of course, we know that he stepped on an official's foot and had a bone bruise. And eventually, he was able to come back after missing a couple games, but he just wasn't himself. And Trae Young, I mean, he has emerged as a superstar in this league, in these playoffs, much like Jamal Murray did in the bubble, much like AD did in the bubble, because AD has been a superstar. He's been climbing, but he solidified himself as a champion and could be, a number one option on a championship team. But we've seen guys take the playoffs and really solidify their legacy. And that's what Trae Young did this postseason. I would say Atlanta overachieved. Nobody expected them to get to the second round, much less get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Trae Young had to go through a lot, man. He went into New York. He silenced those fans. He took a bow at court. He has gone through all these chants. They have this, you know how they do at the New York Yankee Stadium? Derek Jeter. Well, they were doing this. They were doing this chant to Trae Young. Trae is balding. And it is terrible. I mean, I know that he has a little bit of, bald spots in his hair or whatever. He's young, but they were really going in on this man. And every time he went on the road, I guess he's just a polarizing figure. And he dealt with a lot of angry, upset, hostile fans on the road. So I definitely love me some Trae Young. I think he's phenomenal. He's a fantastic player to watch. And a lot of people compare him to Stephen Curry, and I feel like that is definitely an unfair comparison, because Steph Curry, there's no other Steph Curry. There just ain't. There will not be another Steph Curry. And as good as Trae Young can shoot from beyond the perimeter, he is not Steph Curry. Okay, he can knock down a 4-pointer here and there. He's not even Damian Lillard as far as the long range shooting, in my opinion. But he definitely has his own little style. He gets to that lane. He shoots the floater. He throws the lobs. And he has a beautiful passing game. So shout out to Trae Young. Atlanta overachieved. We saw Nate McMillan, who was named the interim head coach going into the playoffs. We saw him, do a wonderful job with his team. took off as soon as he became that interim head coach, to the tune of right now, the Atlanta Hawks just acknowledged that he will no longer be the interim head coach. He will now be their full-time head coach. So Nate McMillan has got himself a full-time job now. He's no longer, on the fence, and he did a hell of a job with that team. We've seen him in the past do great jobs with the Indiana Pacers, with the Blazers, with the Sonics. He played with the Sonics and actually coached with the Sonics. So Nate McMillan has been in this league for a very long time, and he is a very good coach. Some people don't like his demeanor. He's too laid back, especially in those coming back from commercial break where they're inside the huddle. He seemed like a little bit too laid back on some of those clips, but they definitely respond to his coaching style. And I see this Atlanta Hawks team going far in the future. And enough cannot be said about Travis Slink, who is their GM. Travis Slink put this young core together. If you look at that picture right there, you've got Kevin Huerter, who, I did mention in Friday's episode that he was hoarding his team because he was shooting an off night. But let's just be realistic. He is a good shooter out of the University of Maryland, and he's a good role player. He's a good fit for this team because Trae Young is going to need shooters around him because of his to distribute the basketball. Then you got DeAndre Hunter, who came out of the University of Virginia. Shout out to Virginia. And he is definitely a really good defender. He's a three guy. He can shoot the three from the corner. He plays well with Trae Young. He just was injured in this playoff, so we did not get a chance to see him at all. And that is a shame because he would have made a big difference in this series, I believe. Then you got Trae Young, of course. We know Trae Young, number 11. I just spent the last 5 minutes gawking over it. The next guy is Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish, like I said, on Friday, we had a Cam Reddish sighting. Cam Reddish out of the University of Duke. Cam Reddish was actually their leading scorer this past game against the Bucks when they were eliminated. He scored 21 points. And that can be problematic, though, because Cam Reddish is a good player, but Trae Young's got to be your leading scorer. Or Bogdanovich. You gotta have somebody else. Cam Reddish can score 21, but somebody else has got to score 32. And that didn't happen. Trae Young only had 14 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. But back to this core. So Cam Reddish is an up-and-coming player. He will be solidified in this league in the next few years. Now, there's one person that sticks out in that picture. And if you're a basketball fan, you know who that is. That's number 15. And that's Vince Carter. This is a picture, obviously, from Atlanta last year. Vince Carter is now retired. He's now in the media. But Vince Carter was a good fit for that young core because of his experience and his just knowledge of the game. And he helped it to grow, and he helped that core to grow. And we've seen a lot of good things coming out of them, especially this year. And sometimes it takes a while for those to kind of manifest themselves, but they really did. And then you got John Collins on the end. John Collins is a star. He's a superstar. We've seen him in the slam dunk contest. He's become a 3-and-D kind of guy that can shoot the rock. So we have a lot of different young players on this team that were put together by GM Travis Slink, and he has a great eye of evaluating talent. So I'm just thrilled to team in the future, and I hope that maybe they get one extra piece. Maybe they get a better big, because I really don't like Capella on this team. I don't like his fit. I know that he was injured in this playoffs, but I just don't think that he has. They need a big that can stretch the floor. They need a guy like, dare I say it, Brook Lopez. Dare I say it, Brook Lopez. They need a guy that can stretch. They need a 7-footer that can shoot the three. And they really don't have that in Clint Capella. He's a rim protector, but he's not as good as a rim protector as he once was. So we will see Atlanta continue to get better and better. And when they get that second fiddle superstar, then you'll see the rest of this core just kind of merge. And we could be talking about this being a rivalry, Atlanta and Milwaukee, for some time to come, because both teams have that clout, that flexibility where they can go out and grab another player, that cap flexibility. And they also have superstars in Trey and in Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I talked about it on Friday's show. And by the way, this is Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. Don't forget the 2. Barry Long 2. And we're coming to you live from Indio, California. We're on Coachella Valley's Facebook page and CoachellaValley.com. We are also on Today's California's Facebook page, today'scalifornia.com. Thank you for liking the pages. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing this and commenting. Please comment. Your comments will pop up. And once again, I want to say thank you to Craig Campbell of CoachellaValley.com for the platform. All right. So I told you we're going to talk about Ben Simmons. We have got to talk about Ben Simmons. I've been wanting to talk about Ben Simmons for a while. Ben Simmons. What can you say about him? Number 1 overall draft pick out of Australia. Played 1 year in the NBA, or played 1 year in college basketball for LSU. Great defender. Great defender. Athletic. He can run up and down the court like a gazelle. Great passer. Not amazing passer, but great passer. He has one big major flaw in his game, and that is that he does not shoot the basketball. He's afraid to shoot the basketball. He doesn't shoot three-pointers. He doesn't shoot mid-range. He doesn't shoot free throws. He just doesn't shoot. So if Ben Simmons could get to the cup, much like Giannis Antetokounmpo, then that's the only way that he's going to score the majority of his points. I take that back. All of his points. Okay. And we've seen other NBA superstars come into this league and lack certain aspects of their game. We've seen LeBron James when he first came into the league. LeBron James. We saw LeBron James come into this league and not be a great jump shooter. We saw LeBron James come into this league and not be a great clutch player. We saw LeBron James come into this league and not be able to shoot free throws that well. But what did he do in the offseason? He worked on his game. He called them boys up. Kevin Durant, AKD, let's go work. Let's go. Jimmy Butler, let's go play in the gym. So they worked on aspects of their game in order to age like fine wine and get better with time. And we have not seen that from Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons comes into this league. He knows what he needs to improve on. Yet he doesn't take it seriously. And even Giannis Antetokounmpo, okay? Giannis Antetokounmpo can't shoot free throws either. So he's worked on his free throw shooting for a long, long time. To the point where he has the longest free throw ritual at the line in the history of the NBA. It is just beyond ridiculous what he does at the line. And I'm for everyone doing things that make you comfortable. You know, sometimes you gotta go through certain rituals in order to get comfortable. And you know, some guys like to dribble the ball 2 times, spin it on their finger, take a deep breath, and then shoot the free throw. What Giannis Antetokounmpo likes to do, he likes to go through a fake shot with no ball, shoot it like this, and then the entire time the ref is holding the ball. Then the ref finally bounced the ball to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then Giannis holds the ball, takes 6 slow dribbles. I mean, we're already at like 13, 14 seconds at this point. Then he takes his shot, okay? And it has become one of the things that he's faced on the road was the fans. They count down. They count down because if you are a casual basketball fan, you did not know that there was a 10-second free throw shot violation because nobody takes 10 seconds. Only Giannis does. Okay? Giannis takes 13, 14 seconds. They let him get away with it a lot. But most people did not know that there was a 10-second free throw shot violation if you do not get the free throw off in 10 seconds. And most people have not ever violated that rule. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is what you call a habitual offender of that rule. But it is because he's trying to learn how to shoot the basketball better. He's trying anything that he can do in order to gain confidence at the line and anything that he can do in order to be a better free throw shooter. And that's what we're not seeing from Ben Simmons. Look at him. Don't he look so comfortable there? This man is making five. All right, this man over 5 years, his contract is $177 million. Let me say that one more time with me on the screen. 5 years, $177 million. That could buy a whole lot of cheesesteak. A whole lot. Man, my man looks very comfortable right there. And for somebody who is just averaging 15 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds throughout their career, $170 million is a lot of money to be paying somebody like that. So Philadelphia, they've always said Ben Simmons is our guy. We've got Joel Embiid. We've got a good core. We're sticking by Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons will improve, and we will improve with Ben Simmons. And like I said earlier, he's a good passer, athletic, can run the floor. He can guard all 5 positions on defense. We saw what he did to Trae Young. He shut Trae Young down for a couple games. And then Trae Young got him back. But we saw that Ben Simmons has the ability to defend all 5 positions. He's a power forward who plays point guard. Now, for everything that he does well, it's always overshadowed. The good has always outweighed the bad. Oh, yeah, he can't shoot, but he can do this. He can do that. He can do this. He can do that. But in his playoffs, when he got exposed at the free throw line and he was scared to go to the free throw line and he was scared to get the ball in his hands because he knew they were going to foul him and he was going to have to go to the free throw line. Now it just shined a spotlight on the negative in his game. And now it's like the bad is outweighing the good. And I didn't ever agree with Brett Brown, the former coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, to switch him from power forward to point guard. I never agreed with that because you've got other guys that are big men in this league that are passers. You've got Nikola Jokic on the Denver Nuggets, who is leading his team in assists. He is top 3 in assists year after year. But did they make him the point guard? Hell no, because he's way too big to be the point guard. And he's not athletic enough to be the point guard to guard those positions. But he's playing his role. Even from the center position, you can still be the best passer on your team. Even from the power forward position, you can still be the best passer on your team. But no, they decided to be a point guard who can't shoot. Now, if he was a power forward who had the ball in his hands the majority of the time and he distributed to his teammates, then he would be down on the block next to Embiid. He wouldn't be out there on the perimeter and not a threat to shoot. I mean, it's not that he doesn't shoot, it's that he won't shoot. And people are basically begging this man to take shots because you've got to be a threat from the perimeter in order for Joel Embiid to be effective down on the block. Or else everybody's just going to paint and just watch you just dribble all around the perimeter all day long. So it is very disappointing, in my opinion, that Ben Simmons has never developed any kind of mid-range game. Mid-range game, bro. All you have to do is just learn how to shoot from the mid-range and at least be a threat. But he's not a threat to do anything scoring-wise unless he is right underneath the basket. And that. So, excuse me. The 76ers have doubled down, and they have just come out in recently this past weekend that they are going to stick with Ben Simmons. Doc Rivers has defended Ben Simmons multiple times this season. He's had a couple of questionable press conferences. He really didn't stick up for Ben Simmons the way he has in the previous year, in the previous games. But he came back out and doubled down as well and said that he was going to help Ben Simmons in certain aspects of this game. So I'm hoping for Ben Simmons to learn how to shoot the basketball, and I'm hoping that this playoffs really shine a light on his weakness in the game and that he's going to step his game up. And maybe he didn't have it all figured out. And maybe he just needs a little bit of confidence. Maybe he needs to see a sports psychiatrist, somebody that can help him those confidence, much like Rick Ankiel from the St. Louis Cardinals when he had the yips and he couldn't throw a strike. Sometimes people need to go see sports psychiatrists and get their mind right. But Oh man, Ben Simmons. Shout out to Ben Simmons. And shout out to you if you're watching Go Long Live with Barry Long too. We had a couple of technical difficulties in the beginning, but we have ironed those all out. And we are live from Indio, live on CoachellaValley.com, live on Today's California. Thank you to Craig Campbell for everything you do, man. All right, so now we're talking about Ben Simmons. And I brought up last week Devin Booker dating Kendall Jenner, one of the Kardashian sisters, the little one, the one that's a model. There's two little ones, Kendall and Kylie. The one that's a model. Y'all know about because y'all know y'all keep up with the Kardashians too. Anyway, so I showed you this picture of her and Devin Booker, who is on the Phoenix Suns. That's her current boyfriend right now. But then people started hitting me up on social media, telling me that Kendall has been dating a lot more basketball players. So I was like, okay, I kind of thought that she dated, maybe one or two. But then I started doing my research and she definitely has a type. Mixed basketball players. She was out with Ben Simmons, who I was just talking about. That's her old boo. So shout out to Kendall and Ben Simmons. And then, of course, Devin Booker. And Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma made the list. Shout out to Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma from the Lakers is on the roster as well. And isn't all these guys wearing white? They are, huh? And then you got Blake Griffin, who made the cut as well. So shout out to Kendall Jenner. Yeah, they literally all wearing white. That is kind of creepy to me. But yeah, so Kendall Jenner, shout out to her, man. So there was a meme going around that somebody sent me that said that this is the Kendall Jenner playoff series. Because you literally had Blake Griffin in the playoffs, Kyle Kuzma was in the playoffs, Devin Booker is still in the playoffs, and Simmons was in the playoffs. So yeah, that's just a little bit of history there for you all to regarding the Kardashian sister. But yeah, this is Go Long Live with Very Long too, and I am live from India. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in and keeping up with the show, man. And if you have anything that you want to talk about, I want you guys to comment. If you're watching this, not watching this live, if you're watching this on Facebook and you're watching the recording of it, please still feel free to comment. We check the comments, and we just want to address whatever you guys want to hear. So we did talk about Ben Simmons today, and we definitely had to. And once again, I want to send out my condolences to the family of Gene Siller, professional golfer who was tragically killed on Friday night in a triple shooting in Atlanta, and Matisse Kevliniaks from the Columbus Blue Jackets, a hockey player who was tragically killed on the 4th of July in a fireworks incident where a mortar exploded over his chest. Very, very sad stories. But yeah, our condolences go out to those families, and we just hope that we just hope the best for them. So we got Monica Mazet. Shout out to Monica, keep up with her Kardashian sisters with black. They all like, hey, we know that the Kardashians love the chocolate. It is what it is. I mean, they love it. So we seen it time and time again. And also, what I also wanted to mention to you guys is that when you watch the show, you can, if you're watching it live, you can always pop up, and we can pop your comment on the screen, or if you have something to say, we can pop your actual face on the screen, and you can talk. And just as long as you have a microphone and a mobile device or some kind of laptop or some kind of camera, then we can pop you up. And I just fell down. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a fun and adventurous episode of Go Long Live with Very Long 2. Thank you to Craig Campbell for everything that you do. And thank you to Today's California and CoachellaValley.com. We will be back on Wednesday. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 30 minutes. And I'll talk to you Wednesday. Remember, stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And remember, you're capable of doing anything.